Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fradenburgh, and this is Chess with Investors. I am joined today by Senate Eskridge. How are you doing today, Senate?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited to record this and play a game of chess with you.
Awesome, awesome. Now it's got about 30 seconds or something before it just automatically cancels the game. So make sure you do your first move, and then we can continue on with introductions and all that kind of stuff. I see you're white, so you go first. So you
Excellent.
need to pick something there, but let me clue the audience in. Cool, we're doing D4 today. Let's share exactly what's going on here. You know, we are real estate people. I'm from the internet, and so that means I have to do something a little bit unusual to stand out from a marketing, awareness perspective, all that kind of stuff. Oh, cool, I'm going to get to do a Grunfeld today. So this is good stuff. Now, Senate, you and I have known each other for a few years. Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience a little bit?
Yeah. Thanks, Dan. I'm Senate Eskridge. I've been doing real estate since around 2009. Started in single family space, and then moved into multifamily. I've done quite a bit of coaching, and now I focus primarily on the fund to fund model where I raise capital for other people's deals all around the country. But I still buy my own deals in Idaho in multifamily. Best thing about fund to funds is it helps me diversify and work on other asset classes.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, let's talk about weather for a second here. And
The weather.
yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the weather a little bit because the thing is, like people in the audience, they know that even though I'm from the internet, I'm physically located in Canada. But when we think of weather, I'm originally from outside of Toronto. When we think of weather, we usually think of Canada being as cold as it gets. But like you guys are far enough north that you get some pretty serious weather, and then also we the other thing that we run into we're aware that in the prairies of Canada we tend to get temperatures that are much lower, but there's no humidity. So like it's pretty common to be like minus like 35 minus like ridiculous numbers. How cold does it get? I know we're cooking because it's now July, but what kind of weather do you guys tend to get where you live?
So we, I would say, are typical like in the coldness. Um, we're like 20s and maybe low 30s, somewhere in that range. Um, but we also have got really high temperatures in the summer, like it's 93 right now.
Hmm.
But then, talking extremes, the hottest I've ever seen it here, and this doesn't happen very often, the hottest I've ever seen it here is like 117 degrees.
Hmm.
So, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the coldest I've ever seen it here is below 10. So I'm sorry, minus 10. So sub-zero temperature. So we have a pretty vast range that we work on, in Idaho. But normally it's 25 to maybe 100 on the high end. That's our range.
Wow, yeah. So it definitely gets hotter than it does here, and I'm physically located in Ottawa, Canada. So we actually had quite of a heat wave last week. It actually got into the low 90s, and that's pretty ridiculous for out here. I think I will do that. Yeah. This is fun, and we've only traded one pawn so far, but and we had some background from you as real estate goes. But how about chess? What's your background? Who got you into chess there, Senate?
The first time I remember playing chess was actually with my cousin Tavis.
Uh-huh.
I was probably about 5. The first time I remember ever playing it. But I don't play chess often. I would say, um, I went probably another 10 years after that before I played. I was as a mid teenager. And then I recently just got back into it in the last year or so. And actually, you're the thing that got me back into chess. You told me about this podcast that you've been doing, and I was like, oh well, I better get back on and sharpen the skills a little bit. So
Excellent.
I think when I set up my account, I was at 400 elo is what it did, and and I practiced a few times, and I've climbed up to 464. It says here, which is a far cry from your
Yeah, that's the rapid score.
1253,
Yeah,
but
the 1252. It's funny. So like one thing that'll come up pretty often is people will be like, "Oh, well, I'm not sure I want to go on. I don't want to, embarrass myself or anything like that." But the thing that I think people need to understand is, like I got a son, and he's turning 12 soon, and these days when it comes to chess or strategy games, youth is absolutely an advantage. It's really, really crazy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it this way. Actually, I should. How should I do this? Yeah, I should do it that way. Right. Oh wow, you got like this got sharp real fast this match here. But in order to keep up with my son, I had to study like crazy. So I'm not going to even pretend that I haven't. It's I even just last month. Not that it's going to make that big of a difference, but I actually ended up taking a couple lessons from a grandmaster to see exactly. It's like, okay, so am I on the right track? Am I on the wrong track? But there you go. But anyway, so as far as the people in the audience go, they might not be aware that there are many different ways to get into real estate. People, I think, typically when they have the resources, like a lot of people, they want to buy their own house first, and then they'll end up going into like they might get like a rental, like an Airbnb, maybe a duplex or something like that. But when we're talking about real estate on this show, usually we're talking about commercial syndications. So we're talking apartment buildings, we're talking bigger properties, all that kind of stuff. You mentioned when you started getting into real estate and all that kind of stuff. So and I may be forcing you to repeat yourself a little bit, but when it comes to commercial properties, did you do any single family first or anything like that?
yeah. So I did I got my first rental in 2009, so just after the real estate drop, the bubble burst.
Yep.
And I just took that opportunity and started buying rental properties and things of that nature. And I did it for 10 years. I did everything, just about everything you can imagine in the um, single family space. So, I did burrs, I did fix and flips, I did some accidental wholesaling, which is a fun story we could talk about. But I just got burned out after doing it for 10 years. I got burned out and decided to go all in on multifamily at that point.
Right,
So,
right. And I think the misunderstanding that a lot of people start out with is they think, oh well, like an apartment complex, it's going to be, between two to like $80 million, somewhere around that. And I don't know about you, but I left my $80 million in my other pair of pants. And
yep.
I think a lot of people they need a moment to really recognize that you don't have to be fully funded in the sense of like owning the entire building. A lot of people get involved in their first syndication with anywhere from like I think the lowest I ever heard, I think I heard somebody on a GP team who was doing a little bit of sweat equity, getting away with like 10K, but like 25K is pretty normal. 50 is very middle of the road, I find, unless you want to have more equity stored up. Do you have anything to say on that as far as what do you want to call it, barrier to entry?
Yeah. So, um, you alluded to this just a minute ago. There's lots of different ways that you can get into um, multifamily, right? And there's not a one size fits all, I don't believe. Um, there is a pretty hefty barrier to entry, like as far as um, the dollars to do it on your own. my very first offer that I actually put out on a multifamily, and I don't tell this story very often. I was still in my single family game, and I was like, I want to scale up. And I found I think it was about $15 million multifamily deal. And I called my single family realtor and I said, I want to put in an offer on this deal. And she used the single family realtor form, right? And put in this offer. And I literally got laughed out of the room, which is a good thing. I should have gotten laughed out of the room. I had no reason to buy this deal. And it really taught me a lot of lessons at that point. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's and I think that like honestly, that's one of my favorite parts about getting into real estate. It's the fact that everybody comes to us, and what I mean by that is we like people will end up making the jump to real estate, and then they have to learn. So we end up getting engineers, we end up getting doctors, lawyers, like you name it. And it's kind of funny coming from most careers, because I think that you don't generally get as much respect and all that in a lot of industries compared to I mean like from those types of professionals. Like I don't know, how you feel where you are when it comes to healthcare and whatnot. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So actually, can I do that? Okay, if I do that, then that's there, that's there. Yeah, so that still works out. Yeah, we'll do that. Um, so it's kind of interesting, becoming an expert, and getting that kind of respect or whatever. Maybe it's because I came from tech though that I have that impression that was just saying, because quite frankly, like even my old boss, who over the years, he ended up paying me the better, the lion's share of $1 million over the years, and even still, he didn't, like a lot of it was treated like, the tech was something you just wanted to sweep under the rug. It's just, you didn't really want to discuss it at all. But what are your experiences in that respect? The joining more and more with, I guess I'm gonna have to do it that way then, right? Yeah, it's what's your experience getting into real estate in that capacity?
the single family space, I felt it was very, how everything was held kind of close to the breast, and it was, nobody really wanted to share, and almost like everyone was afraid, quite frankly.
Hmm.
And in that, when I got into multifamily, it was the complete opposite. Like everybody wanted to help, and everybody wanted to be there, and just do everything they could. And, I just, another reason I like the commercial space so much more is, you know, you can, they're there for you. It's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I love that observation, because I think you're absolutely right, and I think that part of it is that most industries, you hear about trade secrets. What is it exactly that separates one person from another? Like how are they going to become successful and all that. I think I'm going to do that. Oh, actually, no, that will hang that, so I have to do it this way, don't I? Yeah. So I almost messed that up pretty good. Almost. But yeah, but the like I guess like the reason why I'm saying about trade secrets and how like most people, I think they don't even know what counts as a trade secret, is because coming from tech, like that's absolutely top of people's minds. Like, you gotta, you're constantly forced to sign, NDAs. You're still forced to sign NDAs in real estate, but that's more just because the particular distressed property, motivated seller, that sort of thing. Like, you don't want to spread it around that's. Oh, actually, I think I can. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely,
And there it is. There's no running from
wow.
that. Do you want a rematch? You want to keep going?
Sure. I completely missed that one. Good job.
Thank you,
Should
thank you.
have should have seen that coming.
Yeah, it's kind of a yucky one. That was really really sharp. But yeah, yeah, I do think that real estate is fantastic like that, especially in commercial, because it's a team sport, and nobody's going to be doing all the jobs, all the roles for any meaningful amount of time. So you really do have to you really have to stick with it and be careful, right? So but that's
Yeah,
fun stuff.
yeah, for sure.
So
And it just takes the time,
yep,
right? You got to take the time to learn and to get the right connections. That's
yep.
really the crux of real estate, if you ask me.
Yep, yep, definitely, definitely. So you got 27 seconds. Okay, there we go. So then I guess my next question then is when you're not doing real estate, what's your idea of a good time, Senate?
You know, I like to play golf. I also I enjoy cigars. And recently I've been enjoying chess. So um, yeah, that's pretty much me. So and I've got five kids, a grandchild, and the most amazing wife you've ever met in your entire life. I'm very blessed.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I've had the pleasure of meeting her, and that was a great time out there at Raise Fest out in Phoenix. Hanging out with you guys. It's been lots of fun. So what are we doing here? I guess. Yeah, it's I shouldn't have hung my knight the way that I did in return for that pawn, but it should make this one a little bit more exciting, I think. Okay, so then it was this one, right? Or was it that? Oh, it's that, isn't it? Yeah, I think it was that. I think yeah, that's the move I'm supposed to do. I just ran into that one like in the last couple days. It's when you get that queen there in the corner, it's a predicament. But
yeah, that was it's a good block there.
yeah, it's that one. Yeah, it's a bit scary. Yeah. So let me see here. So you got B5, you got B6, or yeah, definitely not A3 or C2 or D2. But yeah,
Yeah, nope.
it's a
I think B5 is the only move,
quite
really.
possibly. I see what I'm gonna do if you do that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, yeah,
figured.
yeah, right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and I said B6 like as if my pawn wasn't there, but it was. Yeah, I think you're right that that's the only one. I think it's almost trapped. Oh, I think you could still get away after what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh, actually, I could. Yeah. So I actually have two ways of handling this, but yeah, I'm gonna do my original one, which is that. Yeah, far out. Yeah, it's chess really is a brutal game. Um, it amazed me. Like I thought that chess was a lot more solved than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So like I figured, there'd be like a best move most of the time, and it's like sure the computers, they can work it out where, out of the 12 lines or something like that, that they're calculating which one has the highest probability of winning, but for the most part they don't really. Oh, actually, yeah, what I'm about to do is that'll hang a pawn, so that's not going to work. Yeah, I could do that first or that. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's really funny, this game as a whole. But so if somebody wants to get into real estate, in your opinion, oh, actually that helps me. Oh, actually no, that's a really bad blunder. Sorry about that, because you can't move away from your queen. It's pinned to your king, so that's unavoidable. So there you go. But so there you have it. So I guess let's go back to the format of the chance encounter that I normally do, which is one of the things I talk about is motivation, the distinct motivations that get you involved. So the five that I have that I always list is one is really preservation of purchasing power. In other words, you got your nest egg and you got to maintain it, and if you just keep it in the stock market, like who knows what the stock market might do. If you keep it in a bank account, then it's going to drop like a stone, through inflation. And so like that's the reason for that. Me personally, I got into real estate because I wanted to be compensated in the form of deployed capital, aka equity, and because basically the salary, chasing bigger and better salaries, that got like I realized that, wait a second, this isn't really going to work in the sense of okay, cool, yeah, so that's how we're doing it. All right, so now I need to figure out a way to attack that mess that you've got up there of all your pieces. Just it looked kind of defended. That's, yeah, that one's not bad. Okay. So now I need to find a way to cover that one. Oh man, this is really, I'm gonna castle two just to get my guys all over there. All right, so for that, I'm gonna move this right here. But oh man, so there you go. So I guess why don't we talk a little bit about your experience out in Phoenix. I don't really feel the need for us to go ahead and plug the event that we were at, unless you're. I know that you took their mentorship a little bit further than I did. I remember you offered me a drink at the VIP table, and then they're like, "Oh no, you're not I enough to be
Yeah.
VIP." Maybe they knew I was Canadian. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, it's I like the program because they focus on the fund to fund model, which the fact that they are compliant, that's important to me. I see a lot of people that are cavalier, gung ho, a bit like cowboys, I guess you could say, when it comes to oh, that's a little bit more powerful than I thought. Okay, so yeah, so let's do that then, because that still covers my pawn and it covers the other one too.
Yeah. So, I'm big on learning is
Hmm.
really what it comes down to. People talk about hobbies, and honestly, that's probably learning is probably my biggest hobby. I just love to learn new things,
Hmm.
which is I'm glad that this podcast specifically inspired me to get back into chess a little bit. And, I haven't taken it as seriously as you have, but, I just love to learn new things. And so that's one of the biggest reasons that I elected to join that mentorship group specifically,
Yep.
but just because it was new stuff that I hadn't learned before. And I'm very aware, right, that there's many more things that I still need to learn.
Hmm.
And so I am constantly looking for that and trying to find, those new things.
Yeah, yeah, I love that because I'm the same way in the sense of I feel like if I'm not learning something, if I'm not growing in some way, then I'm kind of losing that time. And there are a couple different parts to that personally. Like one of the biggest ones is I found ooh, good move. Oh, actually, yeah, but that's I can still do that, can't I? How do I want to do that? Oh, actually, I can skip that step completely, can't I? Yeah, but that'll be bad for that. So if I go there, then I can block, and then I can, yeah, all right, yeah, let's do it this way.
Ouch.
Hmm. Yeah, so there you go. But that's the isn't it ridiculous trying to hold a meaningful conversation over a game of chess? It's so hard.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that intimidated me the most
Hmm.
about coming on your podcast here
Hmm.
was because, I mean, I feel that I'm a fairly intelligent person, and there's lots of things I can talk about, and I can talk about really well. But to be able to have a conversation and think about my game of chess and, you know, try to look up my next move, all that
Hmm.
stuff, it's a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
so this
sure.
is a very intriguing format you have. I love it.
I appreciate you saying that, and part of one of the reasons the ideas behind it was there's that show Hot Ones where they're eating the spicy chicken wings,
Oh
but
yeah.
and like a lot of people, I think a lot of people prefer that I stay on the nice side of things when I'm talking about real estate and all that kind of stuff. But the fact is, there are some bad players out there, and I'm not talking about chess. I'm talking about dishonest people. And one thing that's nice about playing chess with somebody while you're talking about it is that you're gonna go off script, right?
Yeah.
You like whatever you were saying, you're gonna forget where you were going, and then, well, at least if you're being disingenuous. I think if you're being honest, it's really easy to stay on topic. But yeah, yeah, it's I can't believe how many pieces are still on the board. This is really something.
Yeah, we've been playing for a while and there's still a lot of pieces. Yeah, it's definitely a good match here.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So, so there you go. So what about the Fourth of July? It's going to be some barbecuing in order, or what's the plan?
yeah, so uh, Independence Day is a really big thing for me. I love fireworks. I love all things Independence Day related.
Hmm.
And so yeah, we'll have a barbecue. We're gonna do some ribs and some different things like that. And then fireworks, obviously, right? Like you gotta get the fireworks in. One of my favorite parts. So, um, but I'm a little bit of a patriot at heart. I really like celebrating the country and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's a big holiday for me.
Hmm.
One of the biggest. I still do some work on Independence Day. Like I'm gonna go meet a builder for the first time, but this will be like a lunch type of thing. The big things happen in the evenings. So
Hmm.
similar to like what you're doing, right? You said today's Canada Day. I mean, you're doing a couple things, but probably not a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's part of the life of being an entrepreneur and being in real estate and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, let's do that. It's your days off are not as off as some people kind of demand on holidays, but I think that's fine. But man, this corner, it's we've got a high traffic area.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, so then check. Here we go. Yikes.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's not quite the way I wanted it to go, but it'll work.
Yeah. True enough. True enough. Yeah. Okay. I see my follow up. Oh, but I could be a very not nice person. So I think I'm going to play the way the computer wants people to play, which is oh, actually, yeah, no, that's not that big of a deal. I was eyeballing your bishop,
Uh-huh.
which seems to be hanging, and but I don't think I'm going to go that way.
Yeah. I had a plan for that bishop, but some other things kind of
Yeah,
were
that
more important.
right, that rook on e2. It's even though it's busy, it's got things tied up pretty well.
Yeah, it does.
So, but there you
Let's
have it.
see what happens with that.
Okay. So I guess that means I have to go straight to that. That actually, yeah, that was a particularly good move because of the way that I was setting up for checkmate. Okay. Oh, I have that. That's handy. So no back row for you. Ew. Ew. Oh man. Yeah, this is crazy. This one. But one of the things, I was mentioning earlier about how like I thought that the moves in chess were a lot more solved than they actually are. And it turns out that every single game you play, there's going to be something completely novel, something that basically hasn't been done before. And I thought that you'd have the same position showing up again and again and again and again. Like I saw the stat that after like three moves or something like that, there's 121 million different positions
Yeah,
in chess. Yeah, it's which is just a bonkers number, right?
yeah, and I've tried to learn, like look up the best openings, quote unquote, and I don't know that there is.
There isn't. Yeah,
No.
yeah. There's a number of what they call sound openings. And what that basically means is that these ones don't have any obvious holes in them. There's no simple way to just cheese somebody in the first few moves.
Right.
And so they're definitely out there, that type of opening. But and there are a few that aren't very good. But it seems like the more powerful computers become, the more often they find that you can do just about anything in the opening and get away with it. There's got to be a mate in here somewhere, right? Ugh,
Yeah, I think if you play your cards right, there is.
yeah, yeah. Just not sure where it is yet. Okay, so I can do that. It's light squared. Oh, yeah, it's not as good as it looks. I think I might do it anyway. Right, because that'll end up pinning it too. Right. Just so I'm explaining what I'm thinking out loud about here is I like blocking with your rook is probably one of your only moves, and it's supported by your pawn, so it's a good move too. But then my pawns are going to start going to town, the ones in front of the king.
Yeah, I saw that move. Um, and that's probably, I mean, that's a good move, but to your point, it's not going to last.
Right. And then also like you're going to lose use of your rook until that king moves, which will probably do the next turn. Yeah, gross. But it's funny. I remember last night I had this thought about it too, because like in our family, see, like we think that like compassion is paramount. Like it's like people who victimize people, they can't be friends with us. It's as simple as that. And I didn't like chess. Actually, I remember back in Phoenix, I was saying this, that I didn't like how chess is a zero sum game. Oh, okay. I can do this. Yeah, and then you're over there. And then, oh yeah, block that way, but yeah. Oh, but I got that. Ew, gross. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I thought it was a zero-sum game. One person loses, the other person wins, and but now I know that mathematically, if you've got the best engines playing against each other, chances are pretty much everything is a draw. And I think I do see. I think your next move is forces, and oh yeah, you got two different possible moves.
Yep. I'm trying to decide which one to
I,
do.
I don't think either of them works because I'll even tell you, it's my queen's going to h3, and I think
Yeah.
that'll be mate. And I see that you can go to either h5 or h4, and neither of those help. And that pawn is oh yeah, and the rook is saying that the f file is a no-go zone. But anyway, I guess while you're making up your mind, the important thing to everybody in the audience is that if you're interested in doing deals, maybe geographically you want to meet for coffee or something like that, people are going to need to know how to reach out. I spend a ton of time on LinkedIn, so that's the best way to reach me. Senate, how about you?
Yeah. LinkedIn is good. But the best thing to do.
Oh, you're back.
Interesting. I got a little my glitch. My Zoom crashed there for a
Oh
minute.
wow, far
Back
out.
now though, right? Hopefully you
Yep,
can
you're
edit
back.
that.
Yeah, yeah, it was fast too.
Great. Yeah. So for me, the best thing is if you just go to senateeskridge.com. All of my links are on there. Everything you need to know. I've got several resources on there for people that want to learn. I've got like a passive investing course, tons of blogs I've written. I wrote a book that's on there, things like that. So yeah, senateeskridge.com, and you can even schedule a meeting with me right there. And all my social links are there as well.
All right, beautiful. And that brings me to my public service announcement for everybody, and it's for you. It's not for Senate. It's if you've been watching this game of chess and noticing this nagging feeling, like something's like giving you eye strain or something. I'm absolutely positive it's because of the hideous subscribe button that's just down there. You can just hit it for free, and then that way those deadbeats at YouTube will actually start paying for these videos instead of me, which that's kind of like a dream come true. But of course, all it really means is my videos may show up on your list of suggestions. You can feel free to ignore those suggestions. I like it when you watch more of these Chess with Investors shows, but the important thing is I just appreciate the fact that you spent this time with me. Just like Senate, this has been awesome as usual. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan. It was great to see you again, and thanks for the game of chess.
My pleasure. Awesome.
My background has been in alternative investments for the past 20 years. I've seen just about every type of fund, worked on the accounting and operations side, and even at some of these big banks that I worked for, worked on a lot of projects behind the scenes to really hone my craft and, create Cardinal Financial Consulting and help people set up the right structures, handle the accounting and operations behind the scenes, and really take that away from the CEO's responsibility to make their lives streamlined. Sorry.
Oh, hey there. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you are into chess, if you play chess and you're an investor of some sort, real estate or otherwise, well, you can be on the show too. I know, right? All you have to do is connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Dan Fradenburgh, so I'm super duper easy to find on LinkedIn where I spend most of my social media time. But if you're one of those people who just don't play chess, don't pay attention to him. I don't judge. All you have to do is go to dandoesdeals.com and you'll find the Chance Encounter series where you're welcome to be a guest on it, where you can share your core competencies that you're likely to contribute to a GP team or a JV. You don't have to be doing syndications. And we'll talk about your buy box and stuff like that. It's easy peasy. It's like 15 minutes long to record, and there are no real fastball questions. Just tell the truth, and everybody will be fine. And if that's not really your thing, dandoesdeals.com. It also has the way to meet more, join more people, add more people to your investor list, your different deal sponsor operators and KPs and passive investors, all that kind of stuff. I'm probably repeating myself, but I'll give you the rest of your day. I appreciate you watching Chess with Investors. See you next time. Bye.